You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
Hello and welcome to the Up the Turnpike post-game show. What is going on? Matt O'Leary alongside Mitch Anderson. Mitch, how's it going this morning?
Okay, there's no internet in my house for reasons I have yet to figure out why. I don't understand. The modem is doing what it's supposed to, but the router is not. I think. I don't know. Anyways, and so I'm coming to you live from my bedroom. If it sounds a little bit echoey, that's why. It's not my typical setup. So
No, that's all right. We had to push till this morning, but I'm glad we did because we just got some news before recording. So the St. Louis Blues, after losing to the New York Islanders, fired Drew Bannister and hired Jim Montgomery. So if you lose to this version of the Islanders, you just have to get fired. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, the Islanders were so good that they're just like, no, we and I don't know. They didn't embarrass the St. Louis Blues, really. Sorokin played outstanding, which really kept the Islanders in this one. But yeah, the Blues aren't really good anyways. So I don't know what Jim Montgomery is supposed to do with this roster. Clearly the GM is trying to hang on to his job. Not that he's done a bad one there. It's just when you look at that roster, it might be a little bit, Pavel Buchnevich is not performing well, but just because he's not doing well doesn't mean this team should be better. Like, I don't know, man. It's not a good team.
No, I'm with you on that. I don't know what this really solves, but anyway, it was just ironic to me that like 5 minutes before we sat down to record, I was like, "Oh, all right, Blues coach got fired." But let's see how he got there. We'll start with what happened in this game yesterday. First period, Islanders outshot the Blues 12-7, and they actually get on the score sheet. I'll pull it up. Our guy, Kyle Palmieri, who's maybe been the Islanders' best forward to start this season, nets another one. I'm trying to pull up and share the screen here, but it's taking forever, but that's my bad. So I'll pull up the goal visualization, and we could see how this one ends up happening for the New York Islanders.
Brock Nelson was everywhere on this play. Like you see him there create the interception along the boards at the top, but before that, he stops the pass bottom of the zone. So he works his way from one end to the other. He is everywhere in this game. Just look at the stat sheet. But on this play, he's everywhere. Not only does he disrupt it at one end of the ice, he disrupts it at the other end and then creates the goal. And one hell of a shot by Kyle Palmieri. Like, he's pretty far out again shooting that puck, but gets it with quite a bit of Matt O'Leary mustard on that one, right through Jordan Binnington. And the shot itself was outstanding, but it's really, to me, the play of Brock Nelson on that. I don't know if you came away with the same takeaway there.
100%. And yeah, it was a great shot from Kyle Palmieri, and he was pretty far out as you mentioned. So you got to give him credit for that. But to me, that play doesn't happen without the tenacity of Brock Nelson. Just that was an effort play to me. And a really nice setup to Kyle Palmieri, who again netted his 8th goal of the season. Things you absolutely love to see.
Was it 8 goals through 21 games? Is it 21 or 22?
20, I believe it's 21 off the top of my head, but I don't want to lie to you.
Over 21 times 82, a pace of 31, baby. Pace of 31, absolutely sustainable for him. Assuming he plays all those games.
I mean, he hit 30 last year, so why not?
Exactly. Why not? Hell yeah. But yeah, the first period was all Islanders, really, for the most part. Like, they were up, I believe, 3-0 in terms of shots, well through the halfway part of the period, and then the Blues maintained some sort of offensive pressure and equalized those shots 4-4 before obviously the Islanders pulled away there. They're just playing very well. Ilya Sorokin, again, really good in that first period, and throughout the game. The only goal he allowed, we'll get to it eventually there. But anyways, yeah, good first period, and maintain that, please, which is clearly what they did.
Yeah, the second period, again, they outshot St. Louis 12-8 in that period. They got 2 power play opportunities, couldn't score on the first, but on the second, we get a nice Maxim Siplikov feed over to Brock Nelson, who scores from his knees here.
Yeah, I think the Islanders get lucky here, mainly because these St. Louis Blues penalty killers are wildly passive. Like, there is no one challenging them. Like, look all the time that Simon Holmstrom has here to do anything. There's no one on him. And
Same
then
with Siplikov too.
right,
Until the very end.
right. Just no one. And I understand like that they're not necessarily going to go behind the net to challenge him, but there's no one even like getting in his way with a stick, even just reaching. And then Brock Nelson from his knees into the toy department. Friggin' outstanding stuff by Brock Nelson there. Oh my god.
Yeah, he really needed a big game. So I'm glad that we saw this kind of performance from Brock Nelson last night. The goal total is clearly there at 8. Like for him to have 8 goals, that seems about right for where he should be. But his assist numbers are way low, and I think we're just used to a little bit more out of Brock Nelson.
Yeah, more of a 50-50 stat line type of thing. And it's getting there, right? He's got a few more assists. Well, he's got 2 here. And I think he's got a couple in the last couple of games as well. So it's starting to even itself out. But it's his play off of the puck as well. We saw it on the first one, and we see it here, just the positioning. And I'm holding this. You're not getting me out of the way. Even though he gets knocked down, he's still not out of the way. He's still not out of the play. Like the dog was very much in Brock Nelson tonight, for sure.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. I agree with that. He came to play and he looked really good. Also, Simon Holmstrom up to 7 assists is a little bit surprised. He picks up a secondary assist on that one.
Yeah, he's got what, 8 points in his last 10 games now?
Yeah, he's been good. He's been really good.
And I know people are going to be like, okay, let's get him on the top line now.
No.
This
if it's working, don't mess with it, right?
Oh my God, yes. Don't screw it up. It's working, man. It's fine. Let him cook at this level. If it keeps on going, then maybe after 20, 30 games, fine. But let him cook.
Well, I was going to say, like, he's getting power play time. So, like, that should be enough of a nod for me anyway. Like, I don't care if he's technically on the Islanders' third line. 1, he's been playing well on that line. But 2, his power play time's the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. He's getting the minutes because you're right. He's getting on the power play. And what bigger of a boost do you need by going on the power play? Like, you're out there to create production. You're not just out there to forecheck and hound the opposition and create any sort of offense, or at least just puck possession away from our defense, right? It's less in indirect offense, more direct offense. I am trusting you to go out there and produce. That's got to be a huge boost, man.
Yeah, it absolutely has to be.
Like clearly, look at the production, right? So good job by him, man. He's making it work.
So after 2, the Islanders have a 2-goal lead, which is important to note because they can't hold a 1-goal lead, but a 2-goal lead. I was like, all right, let's see how they could hold this. And immediately into the third period, Isaiah George takes a penalty and they score right away on the power play.
Like right off the face-off. It's again passive. Look at all the time they've got.
So much space.
And then Scott Mayfield and his like 6'4", 6'5" body can't block the bottom of the ice. Sorokin can't do anything here. It's a cross slot pass. And
yeah, why do you have Scott Mayfield if he can't win that battle in front of the net? Like that's supposed to be his strength.
Yeah,
that's why he's on the team as a penalty killer and to win the battles down low.
Just seal the bottom of the net, man. It shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that hard. I guess good pass by Pavel Buchnevich, who I crapped on a little bit earlier, gave me some fantasy points, but I'm still losing this week. It's just not happening for me. Not good. It's going to be an embarrassing week for me. But he's got to do better there. He's got to do better. And it's just way too passive by design. Clearly, like Ryan Pulock is not willing to at least challenge Pavel Buchnevich there. I'm not saying to get right on him, but there's no gap control whatsoever. So Buchnevich has all the time in the world. And there isn't really anyone in the slot. So how do you just look behind him? Like, there's no one for me to protect here. Let's close off this gap, maybe making it a little bit easier on Scott Mayfield as well. It's just, they allowed them all the time to create. And like, well, what do you expect is going to happen? Again, same thing to our power play as well, where we score. We had all the time in the world. What do you expect is going to happen?
Yeah, unsurprising. One, not surprising that this happened, but it feels like a common theme with them. Not just they give a power play goal, which of course they're 31st in the league.
Yeah.
But the little mistakes like that is what's costing them, and that's what Patrick Waugh's been hitting on. Like it's little minute things that are costing them game after game after game. And I don't know about you, but 45 seconds at the start of third period, now it's a 1-goal game.
Oh yeah.
How do you not just go, oh my God, they're about to do the thing again?
Yeah, well, 100%. I'm sure all 25 people in the arena were feeling the same thing. I saw pictures before puck drop, and there wasn't a lot of people in there.
No, allegedly a sellout, but it didn't look that way on camera. It was announced as a sellout, but certainly did not have that feel.
Why
Maybe
the
a lot
hell
of
weren't
people
people? Yeah, they're like, oh wait, we bought tickets to the Blues. Damn it! I thought it was the Blues music concert.
Yeah.
Shit.
Back it
and
up.
just like, not, we're not going. Was it a rainy day on Long Island that I don't know about?
No, it was windy and pretty cold, but like I don't know. It's a Saturday night. Usually they would sell a little bit better than that, but
Yeah.
I think it kind of speaks to, the fans kind of being tired with the state of this team. Now, granted, like spoiler, they're going to come away with a win tonight or last night, as you could see by the scoreboard above our heads. But I don't know. It feels like the third year in a row, just about, where they have a similar team with similar results, where they're just kind of hanging around 500, and it's going to take a mad dash sprint at the end to make the playoffs. And they got bounced immediately in the playoffs. And I think you're kind of just wondering, like, what is the future of this team? Like, what are they?
Yeah, and so I think we're still gonna have to wait and see for that when Matthew
Of course.
Barzal and Anthony Duclair and Adam Pelech come back. But you're right, like that the problems are still there. And getting back to the initial point, like that, as you're bringing up, like the second that goal goes in, not only because of the fashion, but because of how the Islanders play in this with a 1-goal lead, you're like, great, here we friggin' go. And there's so much time for the St. Louis Blues here to do something. And they get a lot of opportunities in that third period, but Ilya Sorokin comes up big.
Huge.
Not only do the Islanders obviously eventually score, but they have a goal called back, which pissed me the hell off. I don't know if you had the same feeling.
Yeah, I don't, because it kind of just goes back to nobody knows what goalie interference actually is.
Exactly. Like, technically Kyle Palmieri, or no, I should phrase it this way. Technically Jordan Binnington is interfered with, but Jordan Binnington initiates the interference. So what are we doing here? What are we protecting him from? Like, Kyle's at the edge of the crease. He didn't run into him. He even tries to like jump out of the way, but like there's only so much you can do. Like, you're on ice with like knives on your feet. Good luck. It's just not going to work. And so, what are we supposed? What is the forward supposed to do in that situation? Preemptively realize I better jump out of the way? Like, he still couldn't even do that.
No. Yeah. And again, like it's just the inconsistency with these calls, which I think is what really frustrates everyone in these situations.
And rightfully so, because we've had 2 goal interference, not that we initiated, but the last 2 calls we initiated one thinking, oh, we could probably get this one. Nope. And now this one, you're like, well, this come on, like he interferes with Kyle. No, it doesn't go our way. So both of them different, and you're going with like, I expected a different result from this. That's why I initiated the goalie challenge, or the challenge here. And well, I guess the St. Louis Blues initiated this one, but we thought we were comfortable. Like, well, it's not our fault. The guy ran into us. What are we supposed to do? And then apparently you're supposed to know that Jordan Binnington has to be able to do everything. It's ridiculous. I feel like it's like roughing the passer in the NFL. Like, what is this exactly?
Yep, exactly. It's the line is blurred for what it actually is and what is going to get called each night. It's frustrating. It really is.
And I get it. You want to protect the goalies because they are vulnerable in terms of like, they have to be able to do something. But he makes the stop, that the shot never comes. Okay, well, can he recover? I don't know. That's kind of his fault because he throws himself. Like, that's not Kyle Palmieri's fault.
No. He got bailed out. He got bailed out on that play. Binnington got bailed out on it.
Absolutely. And I think we hit the post earlier in this period as well. A deflected shot that just kind of, just kisses the post type of thing. So we came close, and then finally we break through on the empty net. Oh my God, we can score empty netters.
I was naturally sweating it out because we know how that usually ends. But Kyle Palmieri with a Brock Nelson assist, so a 3-point night for Brock Nelson, and Palmieri 2 goals, and the Islanders put it away 3-1. Mitch, I have a stat for you that I don't know if you're aware of this, which is pretty shocking, which I wanted to pull up before we get into our box score numbers and like the rest of the stats here. Did you know that was the first time this season that the Islanders won a game when not when scoring 3 goals or less. The only times they've won, they've scored 4 goals or more.
Oof.
So this was the numbers going into last night: 7-0-1 when scoring 4 goals, 0-8-4 when not scoring 4 goals. So that was the first time all year they won a game with scoring 3 goals or less.
That is bad. It's
I
bad.
was not aware of that. I read this last night. I was like, there is no way that that's real. And then I went back and looked. I was like, holy crap. Yes.
For a team that has such a problem scoring, that's both a good thing, but a really bad thing because you don't trust that scoring to continue.
Remember when it was like automatic that the Islanders would win if they got to 3 goals?
Yeah, as it should in the NHL, because typically you win games 3-2. That's how a typical NHL game ends. It's 3-2. You need 3 goals to score, typically. But not for the Islanders. You need
No.
4. That and with the lineup that they've got, that is problematic.
It absolutely is problematic, dude. All right, let's take a look at some of these box score numbers for this Islanders 3-1 win. Who do we got leading the way for forwards? I think you're going to be surprised is my hint.
I'm going to go with, it's not going to be a center. So it's not Brock. It's not Bo. We only had 1 penalty kill, so it's probably not going to be Peugeot. I'm going to say Kyle Palmieri.
No,
Damn.
JG Peugeot. You just said his name right before. 19 minutes, 42 seconds. Next closest was Bo Horvat at 18:59.
I guess we need more French Canadians on the top end because they're going to get all the minutes.
They've been playing well. The
Yes.
line has worked, and Peugeot and Lee has had nice bounce back years. But still, I would have thought it would have been Bo Horvat by a pretty significant margin.
Yeah, center usually, right? Especially with the number of power plays we had. Well, we only had 2, but still, I mean, 2 power plays. Bo Horvat should be getting on the top unit, so that's about a minute at each, a minute plus. It should rack up, but apparently not.
No, least.
Oh, I assume Matt Martin.
8 minutes, 10 seconds. Your assumption was right. McLean, 8:59. Oliver Wahlstrom, 10 minutes flat. Good news, the 4th line wasn't on for a goal against last night. Positive spin.
Positive. Yeah, as long as it's a Michael Dalcolian performance from that 4th line, which again is not a shot at Michael Dalcol. It's just he's not out there for anything positive, but not out there for anything negative either. As long as they're just chewing up minutes, existing and not causing any problems, we're all good here. Which is what happened.
Far too often they are causing problems. So you'll take this for sure. Most amount of ice time for defensemen.
I assume it's Noah Dobson by like a 4-minute margin.
Closer than you would think. So Noah Dobson at 23:43. Romanov was at 22:31. So Romanov, like a minute difference.
Good. He was so good today, Romanov.
Yeah, it looks like he's back.
Thank God. Thank God. Oh my God. And he's got swagger too. The hip check that he had. That one attempt he put on net right from behind, like not behind, there's a backhand, right? He tried to catch Jordan Binnington cheating at the post. Almost had him. That would have been dope had he scored that. Oh my God. More please from Romy.
2 shots, 2 blocks, and 5 hits for Romanov last night.
Excellent stat line. Excellent. No points, but I don't care.
No, but his presence was felt. And for me, like I know he's been back a few games now, but this is the first one where he like stood out to me as like, okay, like Romanov is looking like the guy who he was before he got hurt.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God he was able to get there quickly. Because we've seen that with Adam Pellica before. He comes back and it takes like 15 games, to get back to where he was. And maybe even then it's just like there's one game where he's back to that. But thankfully he's there. So good job, Romy.
Who do you got for least?
I don't want to say Dennis Cholowski, but so I'm going to say Scott Mayfield.
No, Cholowski, 14:39.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself because I keep telling myself, well, he's on the power play. So he's going to have like at least a minute of ice time extra than other guys. But he has so little 5-on-5 time.
I was going to say, I don't know what the 5-on-5 is off the top of my head, but usually it's like 11, 12 minutes. It feels like.
Yeah, that sounds right. So yeah, I keep screwing myself with the power play. They got 2 power plays. So I figure he's got 2 extra minutes. Yeah, but he's only got 10. So it's still only up to 12, Mitch.
Isaiah George, by the way, 17:31, came down a little bit, but also had the penalty in the 3rd period. So maybe some disciplinary.
Yeah, I was going to say he only missed 9 seconds.
Yeah, it was quick turnaround.
Yeah, exactly. What did oh my God, Sorokin finish? Was the 960 save percentage?
Yeah, 960 flat, stop 24-25. He was awesome in this
Yeah.
game. Like his positioning just looks a million times better this year than what it did a year ago. And I'm just so here for the resurgence.
Yeah, same. What do you? I read something online, or I saw something online. I believe it was on Twitter. It may have been Reddit. I think it was Twitter. Anyways, of this back and forth, like Sorokin isn't great at stopping the shooter on a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
I haven't caught up on that, but I'm gonna start watching for it now. Like obviously, other people have seen that and have picked up on it. At least within themselves, they feel that that is a thing, and they want the defenseman to take the shooter rather than the conventional take the pass. Um, so, because we know Sorokin post to post is outstanding, but apparently he's got a problem stopping a shooter on a 2-on-1. So that is something that I want to watch out for because I
Yeah.
haven't picked up on that. I don't know about you.
I saw the tweet or I saw that being talked about on Twitter, and then maybe it eventually made its way over to Reddit. But I think it's interesting. That is unconventional, so it's going to be hard to teach these guys
Mhm.
something like that drastically different. Although I was a little critical of Noah Dobson the other day for on the two on one where he was playing the pass, and I know that's technically what you're supposed to do, but something that Butch Goring was saying that I kind of agreed with him on was that it was a lefty coming up the off wing.
Okay.
And like if you and Romanov broke his stick and was trying to get back. So you have someone with a broken stick trying to make his way back, and a guy who's a lefty coming up the right side. And I think it would have been hard for him if Noah Dobson pressured him early to get a pass through Noah Dobson on his off wing to the other player going up the ice.
Yeah, because it's harder to protect the puck in that sense, right?
Exactly.
Because the puck is now closer to Dobson.
Right. If it was a righty going up the right wing,
Yeah.
different story.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, a lefty going up the right side. I would have liked to see. My reaction was I would have liked to see him take a little bit of a step up. Again, I get
Yeah.
it when the people are like, "No, that's not how you're taught to play it." But sometimes you got to have the situational awareness. I don't know if that's fair or not, but in that circumstance, I thought, or even just toss your stick, like something.
Yeah. Just like try to get in front of it type of thing. Just closing the gap in some way, challenging,
Yeah,
making it harder for him to get that pass across. Because you're right, because he's a lefty on the right side, he's now not able to protect the puck from you, right? Because then you have to come across his body, which allows so many more opportunities for him to do something with it. Whereas in this instance, to protect the puck, he's got to go on his backhand away from you, and it's limiting him because he's not going to do that. He's going to try to keep it behind you. Well, now you've taken him away from the goal type of thing, and you've allowed yourself a little bit more space. I see that. I see what you're saying there. So yeah,
and time
yeah,
for other people to get back to. I know like Romanov doesn't have a stick, but at least he can go back and catch up with that other guy. Then if you're forcing the guy coming down on the right wing to slow it down.
yeah, you do something, right? You do something. So yeah, that's good. But it's something to look for. I forget who tweeted that out. I'm really sorry. If you're listening to this, please say it in the comments below so we can make sure to properly thank you for that, because that is an observation that I had not picked up on. That I'm going to be looking for. Hopefully, we don't see too many 2-on-1s though, so I don't want to see it. But when I do, I'll look.
We will keep note of that. Some final numbers here, game stats. Shots on goal 31-25, Islanders with more. They were dominant in the faceoff dot, again 64.2%. Power play, they were 50%, 1 for 2. The penalty kill unfortunately went 0 for 1, so the Blues scored on their one opportunity. 4 penalty minutes to the Islanders 2. Hits 29-24, Isles more. Islanders with a ton of block shots, 20-6. Giveaways 14-12, Islanders with 2 more, and takeaways not a ton. Blues had 4 and the Islanders had 2.
I got NHL fix the goddamn colors. It's so close between
Yeah.
the two. Oh my god. But with 2 points, the Islanders are now 2 points out of a playoff spot to the Boston Bruins, who have fired their coach. They have a game in hand on the Boston Bruins. We're only a quarter of the way through the season. It's just that I know that this is going to come back and bite us, or maybe not bite us, but something we're going to have to address on the podcast. So PS, sign up to the podcast, patreon.com/uptheturnpike, where we're now Turkey Day, right? It's Turkey Day season anyways.
Yep.
Or is that next week? It's
No,
next week.
Thursday.
Thursday. There you go. So we still got a few more games. Never mind. Because I know that people are itching to say, like, once we hit Thanksgiving, if we're not in a playoff position, what do we do, Mitch and Matt?
We'll talk about it.
So close. So close.
They're getting close.
Yeah.
So anyway, Islanders win 3-1. A nice win. Good to see him close out. And I thought just in general, like, they played well in this game.
They did. You're right. I think to me, closing it out it feels good. More of those. They're gonna blow leads. That's gonna happen. It's just how often they friggin' do it. And can we please, for the love of God, just fix the penalty kills a little bit? It's too. We can't keep going 0 for 1 on the penalty kill. This is ridiculous.
It's killing them. Special teams is killing them.
Yeah, absolutely. So there
All
we
right,
go.
that's going to do it for us in this post game. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm Matt. He's Mitch, and we will catch you next time.